Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to fight Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
There has never been a fight that means more to me than beating Stipe Miocic. I don't think I've ever fought a GOAT, and people consider him the greatest heavyweight of all time. None of my past champions that I've beat were considered GOATs. So this GOAT versus GOAT, it means the world to me. I'm gonna look a lot better in my next fight. I'm gonna be lean and mean. I'm gonna be fast. I'm gonna be well rehearsed. And I've been training for Stipe for a long time already. And so we're just gonna pick up our old notes. We're gonna re-refine them. And I'm gonna finish Stipe Miocic. I don't come to win. I come to dominate Stipe Miocic. And that's exactly what I am going to do.
This is a hard fight for both men. Jon Jones, as we know, technically brilliant in all areas. Doesn't have the heaviest hands, let's be honest, but he uses them very, very well to set up his takedowns. He's great in the clinch. He's got a good gas tank. He'll go 5 rounds with Alexander Gustafsson when he didn't even train, apparently, but that's what they all say. You know, he's very creative, vicious elbows if he gets on top of you. The reality is, though, can he use his wrestling against Stipe Miocic? Stipe is an accredited wrestler. He's a very, very hard man to take down. Daniel Cormier is one of the best wrestlers we've ever seen. Daniel Cormier was not able to take down Stipe Miocic and hold him down for any considerable amount of time. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Jon Jones took DC down. He did. Jon Jones took him down, but not for long. They both bumped back up real quick. Anyway, point of what I'm saying is here is that I don't think Jon will be able to out-wrestle Stipe quite like he thinks he can.
You know, but here's the thing, right? And I will say this as truthfully as I possibly can. When I lost to Jon Jones, I did everything in the rematch and in the first fight, and I lost, right? I did everything possible in that rematch to win, and the dude still got me. I gave my absolute best in training, in preparation. I was as sure about myself going into that fight as I've ever been. Stipe Miocic, very, very good, but I couldn't do all the things that I did for those Jones fights. I feel like if I fought Stipe Miocic as prepared as I was in the second fight with Jones, I never would lose to him. I don't feel that way with Jones. I know that I still believe I would win fights, but I do believe that he could win fights. I do feel like if I was prepared to the best of my ability, I would never lose to Stipe, and I really respect Stipe. I just think that the matchup is not good for him. Great fight. I'm excited about it, but I don't know if, when I look at these two, if Miocic gets past Jones.
Jon's going to do a lot of damage to Stipe on their feet. He's just dynamic. He's going to kick his legs. He's good with the range. He's going to do some things. However, that's also where this whole experiment about can Jon Jones deal with somebody bigger than him that has the power to knock him out. That's the entire thing. All that this is about, at least for right now. If he's on his feet trading with Stipe and either can't take him down, like Daniel Cormier could not, or elects to not take him down, it does provide opportunity for Stipe, even if Jones is winning. Even if Jones, there are 3 minutes in a round and Jones has won 2 minutes and 59 seconds of it, it still is giving that opportunity to Stipe, and I do think those are going to be some punches that Jon isn't used to. So I do think there's going to be something new to see. A different outcome, that's still Jon Jones. But something new, something dangerous, yeah, Jon will tell you that.
Stipe Miocic he's quite the competitor. You know, he has a wrestling background. He's a very strong boxer, and he knows how to win a fight. Mm-hmm. Me and my team, we take him very, very seriously. I would recommend him take some time off from the fire department for a while. He's gonna need every ounce of himself to get through this one, and he's not gonna get through it. But I'm telling you, he has my undivided attention. I have no side jobs, but to be the greatest champion that's ever lived.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing though too is like I don't want to necessarily say we're looking over Stipe. I just don't see that. I just don't see that punching power in Stipe. I don't see that Francis Ngannou in Stipe that could really put Jon in danger. I think Stipe is a great fight for Jon. I think in every area Jon Jones just happens to be faster, quicker, stronger. Does Stipe Miocic, does he have the mind power? Does he have the willpower to really understand and be focused for 5 rounds to take this man who has a chip on his shoulder, who has gone through hell, not just with, in his personal life, but also with the public, you know? But that being said, I just don't see Stipe I just don't see Stipe beating him by any means. So for that reason, I'm going Jon Jones, stoppage, no more than 3 rounds.
That my issue with Stipe has always been, when we're talking about him fighting Jon Jones, is if Jon is coming up to 260 and Stipe, for whatever reason, was fighting Daniel Cormier weighing 230 pounds, it's a big problem. Stipe is every bit of 255 pounds right now. He's strong. He's been very quietly working on his own. He's building muscle. He looks very, very healthy. I think he's just taken some time away from maybe the spotlight and a lot of the things I think that plague a lot of guys at the highest level. But he is very quietly working right now. He's not just hanging out waiting for his opportunity.
257-pound Stipe Miocic is a very interesting proposition, and it also preserves the idea that Jon Jones is going to go in there with somebody bigger. If they get off the scale and Stipe's in the 230s and Jon's in the 240s, not only have we lost what this whole 2 years of Jon's life's about, we went the other way. So I think it's a big deal. I think it matters that Stipe's in there big. If we're talking about, hey, this is what you got to do to put Jon down, he'll have a little bit in his advantage, and I think people are going to be very interested in that match.
I hear Stipe talking about the fact that he weighs more than 250. He weighs more than 250 already. One thing that he doesn't realize is that this is not a weightlifting competition. It's not a competition of who can get bigger than the other guy. Despite what Stipe weighs, he'll never be younger. He'll never be faster. And I can't wait to destroy him.
You know what I like about Stipe coming into this fight is that he had to walk into his valley. He's been in his valley ever since the DC fight, and he's just kind of just walking and figuring himself out, figuring life out. And sometimes you need to go through that as an athlete to really see how bad you want it. And it looks as if like he really wants it bad. So I expect him to come out there and meet the intensity and get ready for the challenge. So I think this is going to be a great fight.
Stipe, with his ability, can match just about anyone, regardless of weight class. He's a big guy, and obviously Jones is who he is, and I think that is one of the issues and one of the things that people don't realize about Jon Jones is how fierce a competitor he is. He's not trying to get beat by anyone, so to have those two, and honestly, I lost to Stipe in Anaheim, and after the way that fight started, for him to dig through what he went through to get the victory, it tells me that when you lock these two up, it's going to truly be something special.
You know, I mean, nothing against light heavyweights. It's still, I don't think they hit as hard as heavyweights because they got more weight behind it, and I think it's definitely a different ballgame. So I just hopefully he can adjust. And he's a great adjuster into a situation. So we'll see how he takes it, and it's definitely a different ballgame.
I've heard stories that I don't know if they're true or not true. I don't know what's true or not true anymore these days, but. If the stories are true that I've heard of Jon Jones in the past when he was the dominant light heavyweight champion, wow. Stories of not training and partying too much and just showing up here and fighting these incredible fights and beating the absolute best in the world. A lot of people are saying, I don't know, he looks soft, what if this, that, and blah, blah, blah. Cyril Gane is a monster. In great physical shape and everything else. Jon Jones went in there and just treated him like he was a little kid. So I think he is the level. I don't know if there's any other level higher than Jon Jones.
I think Jon Jones is more well-rounded than Stipe. And maybe Jones is a little bit younger than Stipe, so maybe this is on the balance.
We know Jon can beat everybody. We know Jon can become the world champion. We know Jon can beat Stipe, but we know Stipe could beat Jon too. We know Jon does some of his best work by throwing people down and keeping them there and beating them up. Like Jon's ground and pound is very hard to match. Jon will do stuff that nobody else can do. He'll run across the ring, jump in the air and throw a flying knee. Like these are things that Stipe's not going to do. Stipe is very basic, but basics win championships all the time. Like that fight works. The X's and O's of that fight, it is compelling as hell.
I think just styles make matchups. I think I have a style that doesn't match well with his style, but on the shoes under the foot, it could be me as well. But he does a lot of good things. He's good at his distance with his leg kicks and stuff like that. He's good on the ground. I think I'm good at making a fight. And I'm technical, but also I can make it into a brawl and make him very, very feel uncomfortable, and as does he. So I think it just depends who does what they want. And unfortunately, I don't like being told what to do, so I'm gonna do what I want.